Right, yo, what is going on, people? Hope you are well, wherever you are, whatever the damn time. Welcome back to another YouTube video. So today is going to be a bit more educational than typical. I just wanted to sit down and talk over a topic, kind of just ramble on a little bit, give my opinion and thoughts rather than a vlog style. If you do like this style of video, please let me know. And if you have any questions or topics that you want me to cover next, I'll do so. Just let me know. But today I actually wanted to talk about adherence to your plan because there's something that really bothers me in coaching, right? There's been this content that's been going around at the minute and it's uncoachable clients and coachable clients, which I get. There are people that are a little bit more better coached or more enjoyable to coach versus maybe some other kind of people. But essentially, what a lot of these coaches and creators are saying is the person that's coachable basically just does whatever the hell I tell them to do, and the other person doesn't. And the issue with that I have is if you're a coach, your job is to get that person to do what you want them to do or the actions that will lead them to the goal, right? If essentially every single person that came into your program just done exactly what you told them to do, you probably wouldn't have a job for very long because everyone just does it. You haven't got to worry about people's psychology. That's not coaching, in my opinion, right? So I want to talk today about adherence and how to actually improve your adherence. Because if you can get to the point where you do adhere really well, that's it. That's how you get to your goal. If you are able to get yourself to a place where you just do what the other person tells you and you remove those other barriers that are stopping you, hello, you've just reached your goal basically over a period of time. So wanted to go over that for you guys. Got my notes ready, got a few things that I want to discuss. So let's uh, let's get straight into it. There'll be a couple of things as well that'll be straight off the dome, but it is what it is. This isn't going to be too scripted. So number one is if you are struggling with adherence, is get a coach first and foremost, but get a coach who you actually admire. Get a coach who you think is somebody who is walking the walk, somebody who you almost see as authoritative. And the reason I say that is because me personally, and from what I've seen from clients, is if you have a coach that you admire and a coach that you see as authoritative, you will want to impress that person. And one of the ways that you'll do that is by adhering, by nailing the whole process, by doing what they've said. If you don't have a coach that inspires you, or you don't have a coach who you feel like has that authority, it's really hard for you to then respect that person's decision enough or respect that person's opinion enough to then just always do what they're asking of you. So get a coach whose content you consume, whose values you resonate with. So whether it's values over work ethic or their approach to bodybuilding or just their general approach to life, their interests outside of bodybuilding, really try and connect with somebody and work with that person as opposed to I just spent all day scrolling Instagram. I saw this guy and I thought, wow, he looks sick and I just want to get coached by him. You won't have that same level of desire to adhere to a plan if you haven't got a coach like that. In my opinion, and what do I know? But in my opinion, having somebody who can provide that direction and somebody who you admire. The good thing as well about having a coach is it kills decision fatigue, right? So you haven't got to think about the food you're going to eat throughout the day. You haven't got to think about your water intake. You haven't got to think about the training that you need to do. That's something that's already been sorted out for you. So you haven't got to think about that, which makes your life a lot easier. Life is busy, right? Everyone's got things going on. Someone's goldfish died. Your uncle's having mental health issues, or people have problems, right? If you have to, on top of that, develop your own meal plan and go to the gym, but then you also question yourself, am I doing enough? Am I doing too little? This influencer told me that I shouldn't do this exercise, but I like this. Like, there's just so many things going on. If you have a coach that tells you, do this, it will work, and you trust that person, it makes your adherence a lot better because you have that direction. Number two, this is a big one. Create a timeline. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you might find yourself going through the timeline or that process and it might change ever so slightly, but there has to be a light at the end of the tunnel. If you have to run a marathon and they say to you, it's 26 miles, cool. If you have to run a marathon and they say, it ends when we ring a bell, that's a lot harder for you to commit to, because you don't know when that ends. You don't know when that like suffering or that process ends. If you're somebody that struggles with adherence as well, it might help you to know, okay, if I just nail it for this period of time, I'm good. I'm going to get better. So create a timeline. That's something that I do with all of my clients, is just give them an idea as to what we're doing first and how long roundabout we're doing it for. It can't be perfect, right? And a little secret here as well for you people, yeah, if you're looking into coaches. This is why a lot of coaches have these stupid names for their programs, like the Accelerator 3000 or the Priming Phase 2.0, Growth and Rebirth, like stuff like that, right? It works because it makes you think that you're doing things in stages, and you really want to make sure you nail those stages. It creates a timeline. If you know you're doing like Priming Phase Megatron 2.0 and then you're doing the bulking to resemble Jay Cutler 1.0, like if you know you're doing those phases in that order, you're going to adhere to it because you want to nail it. So that's why these coaches have these names. You don't have to be that dramatic, but it can just be fat loss this long, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, 24 weeks, contest prep. You're aiming for this contest on this date. We must be ready. There's a timeline. Not going to a coach and saying, or the coach telling you, we're just going to diet. Cool. Like, how long do you think we're going to be dieting for? No idea. We're just going to diet. If you're somebody that struggles with adherence and nailing a plan, that's going to be pretty difficult for you to adhere to. So yeah, that's number 2. Create a timeline. Very important. 3 is reducing friction in your life. So you need to try and remove as many distractions as possible and things that provide friction. So if it takes you 2 hours round trip to get to your gym, probably a good idea is to try and get to a closer gym. If every time you go into a shop, you walk past a sweet aisle and you get a bag of Sour Patch Kids, probably best to do your shopping via online and just get what you need to get, right? Little things like that remove friction. I also feel like a lot of people just don't like the idea of saying no. A lot of people don't like conflict. But saying no is just part of being an adult. You have to be able to say no to things. Not to get all motivational on you, but if you are looking for an exceptional result, you have to understand that you're going to need to be the you're going to have to be the exception in certain situations. That wasn't very motivational. I couldn't even speak properly. You're going to have to be the outlier if you want to get a result or a look that's different to everybody else, right? So that's going to involve you saying no to certain things. And I think a lot of people struggle to do that because a lot of people take those things personally. If I say no to the box of cookies that you offer me, a lot of people think that that's going to bother them, but it's not. And it doesn't also require this huge explanation. Oh, I can't have these cookies because I'm on this prep and I'm taking it really seriously and I'm doing this for my dad that never loved me. Like, you don't need to go into your life story. Just say to people, no, I'm good. Just try it. Just try it. No, I'm good. But I hope you have a great day. I'm good. So like that is, yeah, you need to be able to say no to things. I also think just having this association of enjoyment with food, which I know is tough because we are evolutionarily developed to enjoy food, and don't even make me go into a rant about how delicious food is these days, because it's ridiculous. But you don't want everything to be based around food. Do other things that don't require you always eating. I don't think that food should be a part of every single thing that you do. I don't think that's a healthy place to be in. I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy food. I'm not saying you shouldn't go out to enjoy food. But everything that you do, every single celebration, everything that happens has to involve food. I don't think it has to go like that, right? And I think for a lot of your friends and people that care about you, just you being present with certain things is all that really matters. But definitely learning to say no and understanding that it's not a personal attack on anybody if you say no to something. And it also doesn't mean that you're saying no to plans. It can just mean no to food, So definitely that. But as I said, just reducing friction in your life. Also, other things that you can do, for example, like if you're struggling with supplementation adherence or whatever the case may be, place supplements near you. Put supplements where you're going to be every day. So next to your bed, or put supplements in the drawer where you get your meals, or whatever it is. Just reduce that friction between you needing to adhere and not. One of the big things for me, because I personally, when I first started bodybuilding, I never really realized how much food I was going to need to eat to try and gain the size that I needed. And for me to have to think about tracking my food and also just having to go out and get that food, it just made life a ball ache. So my coach would just make me a meal plan, and that just reduced friction, because it was like, I know exactly what I need to buy from the shop, and if it's not on this list, don't buy it. And if I consume it, I gain weight. So it was one of those things. The next point, and this is the fourth one, I got 5 points here, so this is the penultimate one. Take care of your sleep. Really, really take care of your sleep, because when you don't sleep, you do really dumb shit. Like, you just do really dumb stuff. You're just less inhibited when you don't sleep. You are not cognitively sharp, or as sharp as you normally are. You need to make sure that you're protecting your sleep. That is huge for your recovery. If you're just pulling all-nighters and scrolling TikTok and then waking up early in the morning for work and then rushing around to get things ready, and then you forget that you haven't cooked any rice, and it just makes things harder when your sleep isn't great. Protect your sleep at all costs, as much as you can. I know there's going to be people, and I can't relate to this right now, but there's going to be a lot of, maybe not a lot, but it's going to be like 2 parents that watch this, or the 1 parent that watches this, that is like, I literally can't, and I get it, but just as best as you can, just like parents to newborns, right? Just as best as you can, try and get decent quality sleep, as good as you can. Somebody who has that time I can get 8 hours, and they do all the whole shebang with their sleep. Whereas a parent who's got a newborn and they're trying to adjust, it might just be 4, right, temporarily, or it might be broken sleep. It's cool, but just get as best as you can. Don't look at sleep as this like afterthought. Don't look at sleep as this thing of, I need to make sure that I get all of my meals in or do all of my steps, but I'm going to sacrifice my sleep. Don't do that. Just be better organized and get yourself some better sleep. It will make a big difference to your decision making. Crucial. I also made a note here as well. Usually at night, when you're up late and you're past a time that you should be in bed, is anything positive really going on? You're probably arguing in comments on Instagram. You're probably reading something that's pissed you off. You're doing something that is not conducive, that is not making you feel good, right? So nothing happens at those times. Nothing great happens. It just doesn't. Get your sleep. And finally, create relationships with people who are doing the thing really well that you want to achieve, or they have already achieved it. And the way you can do that, social media. Reach out to people. Ask to train with people. You can DM me and ask me to train with you. I have no problem. If you're willing to come to my gym, or if you're local. Create relationships with people, because then you have extra accountability. It's not just a coach. And that saying of, you are essentially the people that you surround yourself with, or who are closest to you, it definitely makes life easier. I'm not saying you're going to become that, but your standards elevate. It's the same with money. If you only hang around people who make 2,000, and I don't want to like shit on people, but if you only hang around people that make minimum wage, or let's say they make 1.5k or £2,000 a month, and that's the only people that you hang around with, which by the way is not a problem if you're cool with that, if that's what you want, if you don't care about money like that, whatever. But if you're yearning for more money, it's going to be really hard for you to sit in that for a long period of time, because behaviors associated in that group are just going to be what's necessary for that amount of money. Whereas if you try and hang out with people who are making more money, let's say you hang out with people who are making 5 figures a month or whatever the case may be, that becomes normal. It doesn't become exceptional. It just becomes, they talk about it as if it's just normal, which by the way, it's not. But put yourself in groups where bodybuilding and adherence is just, it runs in the background. It's just auto-regulated. It's not, adherence isn't this big thing that they need to practice doing. It's just normal. They just have their meals. They prep their food. They take meals with them if they need to. It is what it is. Like, it's just normal. Hang out with people like that. It will make your life a lot easier when it comes to adherence and bodybuilding. So, yeah, social media, get yourself to bodybuilding shows as well. Meet bodybuilders, meet coaches, just interact, be social with people who are in the position that you want to be into or get into. But I hope you guys enjoyed this style of video. This style of video is hella easy for me to make and put together, and it's quite nice to just talk about a topic. And if you want my opinion on anything else, leave a comment below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. This is the second video back after my little hiatus. I hope you enjoyed the last full day of eating as well. But guys, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in a bit.